Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Today's show presented to you by the fine folks at Manscaped. July 4th weekend coming up right around the corner. A lot of you are going to be celebrating outside, and you don't want to be all too hairy down in your nether region where people are looking at you weird or you're getting judged by your significant other. Take care of that with the best men's grooming products. A custom link available for the faithful right now. It's manscaped.com/49ers. 20% off and free shipping if you use that link and that promo code. So here's what we're discussing on today's show. Going to take a look at some 49ers bounce back candidates, players who need to rebound from a rough 2021, guys who have pressure on them to perform this upcoming season. Before we take a look at that list, I want to hear from you in the comment section right now. There are a lot of players on the 49ers roster right now that need to perform better in 2022 as compared to what they did a campaign ago. So who bounces back and has an impactful year this year? Give me a name in the comment section right now. We start off with an obvious one. It's a former first-round pick in Javon Kinlaw, who in his first 2 years since getting drafted in the first round out of South Carolina has not been available enough for this defensive unit. Season cut short last year due to surgery on his ACL. That same knee affected him and impacted him in his rookie year as well, where we saw flashes of him living up to those lofty expectations of being selected in the first round. There's certainly pressure on him because of his lack of availability so far up to this point in his respective NFL career, but also after lashing out at Grant Cohn, which wasn't a good look on the 49ers organization. We talked about that. Don't need to get exhaustive with it, but there's a lot of pressure on Kinlaw to show up and show out, especially with his current contract situation. Has an opportunity to lock down the starting defensive tackle role, but there are going to be players competing with him, and the Niners are not scared to admit their failures when it comes to their draftees. And if he doesn't play good, then the 49ers will move on with some of the other pieces along this stacked, loaded, and deep defensive line. You take a look at what Kinlaw's been able to do throughout his career in 2 years after being a first-round pick. 18 games is not going to cut it. 1.5 sacks, that's not either. 3 tackles for loss and 5 quarterback hits. When you look at the body type of Javon Kinlaw, he can be a dominant player. He can be a force in the trenches. He's got a nice shoe game, as you see with the Nikes right there. But there's no question that going into this upcoming season, it is a make or break year for Javon Kinlaw. He plays well. He opens himself up to secure the bag and get a big payday. If he doesn't play well, it will not surprise me if his NFL career is short and he ends up being classified as a bust. So will Javon Kinlaw have a good year? It's a simple question, but it's a difficult answer. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Let me know what you think in the comment section right now. From the defensive line to the offensive line, and Javon Kinlaw to Mike McGlinchey. McGlinchey, 8 games last year, in 2021, due to a torn quad muscle that he suffered in the desert in that loss against the Arizona Cardinals. Ever since getting taken number 9 out of Notre Dame in 2018, he's really had an up and down career, entering the final year of his contract. So for Mike McGlinchey and Javon Kinlaw, this is why they are on this list. They need bounce-back seasons for themselves if they want to have a long and lucrative career in the National Football League. So you take a look at what Mike McGlinchey did last year. According to his Pro Football Focus grades, 70 is league average. He was just below it with his overall grade. His pass blocking grade, about average at 70. Run blocking grade, not good at 64. Sacks allowed 2. Pressures, 13 last year on 466 total snaps. He has not, like Javon Kinlaw, lived up to the expectations of being a former first-round pick. But the talent is certainly there from Mike McGlinchey. And like Kinlaw, we have seen those short glimpses of them being impact players on San Francisco. Luckily for the Niners, they've been able to hit on some of those mid to late round picks that helped them absorb the blow of McGlinchey not playing up to status, him not being available, and the same can be said for Javon Kinlaw. It's really pivotal, and it's really paramount for McGlinchey to play well and be available, because offensive line is my biggest concern going into this season. You're protecting a young quarterback in Trey Lance. There are questions along the entire offensive line outside of Trent Williams. Who will play at left guard? Will it be the inexperienced and unproven Aaron Banks, who's going to start at center? Is it going to be Jake Brendel? Who's at right guard? Is it Daniel Brunskill or Jalen Moore or Spencer Burford? And who's going to start at right tackle? Is Mike McGlinchey going to be able to come off of what is a very serious injury when it comes to that quad tendon? Will McGlinchey be the long-term starter at right tackle? He's going into the final year of his deal, as we've talked about. Will he be the starting right tackle for the long term? S for starter, G for gone in NFL free agency. Let me know in the comment section right now. I also want to pose this question. Is there anything more American than getting out there on a sunny day, having a beer and a koozie, you stick it in the lawnmower, and you mow your lawn? No, there's nothing more American than that. And if you want to mow your lawn, you can do so with Manscaped. Yeah, I'm talking about that lawn right below the belt. And right now you can get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/49ers. How about the Performance Package available right now for $95.99? We're talking ball preserver, ball deodorant, nose hair trimmer because you don't want to have a forest in your nostrils, the Lawnmower 4.0 to take care of your hair down on the waistline, on your chest, your back, as well as your face if you change the guard. But the good thing is interchangeable blades and guards as well. And the Manscaped Boxer Briefs, the most comfortable that I've ever worn. You can get it right now, manscaped.com/49ers. Summer is here. Don't be looking sloppy for your significant other. That link available in the comment section and the description of this video. Bounce back candidate number 3, Tarvarius Moore. We didn't hear from him at all last year. That's because in the offseason, in the lead up to the campaign, he suffered a torn Achilles and missed all of last year. He's competing for the starting safety spot opposite of Jimmy Ward. Right now it's a competition between him, Talanoa Hufanga. I think there are some surprise guys who could end up making a play for that role, like a Dante Johnson, maybe even the undrafted free agent Leon O'Neal out of Texas A&M, but also another guy who's going to be vying for that spot, George Odom, who is an all-pro special teamer who's looking to prove that he can be a starting safety and play defensive snaps and not just special team snaps. Tarvarius Moore, like McGlinchey, entering a big contract year, looking to make some money for himself, like Javon Kinlaw as well, will enter free agency in 2023. And him, like the other players on this list, bounce-back candidates who have not lived up to those draft expectations, a 2018 third-round pick. Who do you think will start at the vacant safety spot on the other side of Jimmy Ward? This is probably the best competition going into 49ers training camp. Will it be Moore? Will it be Hufanga? An upset pick? You let me know and predict it right now. Trey Sermon, bounce-back candidate as well. Played 9 games last year after being a third-round pick. Only carried the rock 41 times. I expected him to get more carries last year, but because of injuries, because of sporadic play and inconsistencies, he didn't get a lot of run. 49ers running back room is crowded, and the competition in that room will be stiff. John Lynch, the general manager, did say that Trey Sermon had to deal with some rookie struggles last year, and he's looking to overcome those. Now, you look at this 49ers running back core. This is another one of those really good and intriguing training camp battles. Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson, Trey Sermon, Ty Davis-Price, JaMycal Hasty. I was asked in a mailbag, who do you think are going to be the 1 and 2 options? I think it's safe to say Elijah Mitchell, as long as that knee recovery is on schedule. And then outside of that, I don't know who's going to be that number 2 guy. It could be Trey Sermon. He certainly has the ability. From a consistency's sake, will it be Jeff Wilson? JaMycal Hasty maybe, but also I'm intrigued by the physical running of TDP, and I think that Kyle Shanahan is looking for a physical, bruising, downhill running back, and TDP certainly fits that profile. So who will lead the Niners in rushing yards in 2022? Who you taking? Get those predictions in. Let me know in the comments section right now. And to round out our bounce-back candidates, we take a look at Aaron Banks here. Played sparingly as a rookie, second-round pick last year, when the Niners really could have used him. I mean, they had some needs along that offensive line, and Banks wasn't ready to play. Got all the snaps at left guard throughout OTAs and minicamp, and according to him and Chris Forster, the offensive line coach, that is his positional preference. Last year, he played a lot of right guard, so going back to his normal position at left guard doesn't make him a little bit comfortable. Maybe. Word is, Banks has trimmed some fat, he's added some muscle, but this time of year, everybody is in the best shape of their lives, including me, your boy. When I watch Aaron Banks and when I turn on the tape, he needs to play like he's 6'6" and 330 pounds. And I was looking at his draft profile today from Pro Football Focus. They had slated him to be a 7th-round pick or undrafted free agent. The Niners reached, in my opinion. I found the pick to be head-scratching at the time. They took him in the 2nd round, and he's huge. He's a massive human being at 6'6", 330 pounds, but he doesn't play like that. I need to see a mean streak from Aaron Banks. I need to see him play with physicality. I need to see him get that menace mentality from a guy flanked to his left in Trent Williams. I want to see him drive dudes into the ground and let them know that he's bringing the boom. Aaron Banks, I hope you're watching the 49ers report. I hope you're listening to me because you play soft and you play like you're my size. I'm only 6 foot, 180 pounds. You need to play like you're your size at 6'6", 330 pounds and push guys off the damn football. Name your favorite bounce-back candidate. It can be the 5 guys who we talked about or another bounce-back candidate. And here are those aforementioned bounce-back candidates as we summarize things on today's show. Javon Kinlaw, Mike McGlinchey, Trey Sermon, Tarvarius Moore, Aaron Banks, who will bounce back, step up, and show out. You let me know, and thanks for watching today's show.